Good morning, everyone. All right, we've got a full house. This is going to be a fantastic set of sessions. Welcome back from your from the breaks, and I hope you enjoyed the flavor discovery and sponsor exchange tastings. Just a reminder that the recipes will be distributed for those items and all meals after the conference electronically. If you are having any trouble finding the recipes in the app, the best thing to do is to go to the session that you're in, and then at the bottom of the session is where it has the document of the recipe. So just in case you're having any trouble finding those, and we do encourage you to follow along for these sessions, especially in the app. If, however, you're still having any trouble and really prefer to use a handout, we have a limited number available, so please just raise your hand and we will bring those to you throughout the sessions. At this point, I'm very delighted to turn it over to Jay Giannone from Clemens Food, and thank you so much to our sponsors, I should say, for the break and for this fabulous session.
Thank you, Sophie. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Well, first of all, thank you very much for joining us this morning. As Sophie said, I'm with the Clemens Food Group. We're the sponsor of this session of the event. For those of you who don't know who the Clemens Food Group is, we are a fully integrated pork company. We've been around for 125 years, established by John C. Clemens on 3 guiding principles: ethics, integrity, and stewardship. For us, stewardship means providing the right environment, not only for our employees, but for the animals that are in our care. Based upon that principle, we developed our Farm Promise program, which is our line of no antibiotics ever pork that is raised on American family farms. It is fed a vegetarian diet with no growth hormones. So with that, we're raising our hogs responsibly to provide you with truly a better pork. So when you look at the overall event, why pork in the overarching theme of cultures of deliciousness? Well, it's simply because pork has been around and been a fantastic canvas for culinary exploration for centuries. It allows chefs to be creative. It allows bold flavors, but yet also delicate flavors and the intricate flavors of some of the world's great cuisines that are out there. And I think you can say that through the course of last night and over the next couple of days, we're going to see a lot of flavors. And pork is just that fantastic canvas to make that happen. So when you look at the world cultures that we're looking at today, we wanted to have a moderator that really had that experience. So it's my pleasure right now to introduce Elena Martinez, who is truly a world traveler. I think it's 6 continents to record right now. Throughout her career, she has brought the flavors of the world to us through her writings with groups like the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Guardian, Condé Nast Traveler. Back in 2014, she also started a function called Meets New York City, and that is an event-based program that brings food events and destination-based events to New York City and across the country. In 2016, she was co-founder of New Worlder, which is a culinary travel website, and it focuses on the cuisines from Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries with an emphasis on Latin America. So for the remainder of our culinary trip today, I give you our moderator and guide, Elena.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It is my absolute pleasure to be here today to introduce this session's chefs, which are representing Spanish cuisine, which I'm sure most of you love as much as I do. I've had the pleasure of dining in both of these chefs' restaurants, and they're both 2 very different spots that celebrate Spanish food in all of their various forms. First up is Seamus Mullen, the award-winning chef, author, and health wellness expert of the now shuttered, sadly, because I live in New York, Tertulia and El Comado, both tapas spots. Growing up on an organic farm in Vermont, Mullen spent his time in Spain and San Fran, rising to fame in 2006 as the chef behind Boqueria, which was arguably the spot that got tapas right in New York City. As a lifelong New Yorker, I can attest that it was pretty amazing. After that, he was a multiple-time semifinalist for the James Beard Best Chef New York City, a finalist for James Beard Best New Restaurant, and he's been featured on The Today Show, Chopped, Beat Bobby Flay, and many more. He's probably a familiar face to you. More recently, Seamus led a conversation on food, health, and wellness, and continues to do so, having been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. He rethought his relationship with food, and as a result of that struggle, has succeeded in overcoming it. His story has become a motivating factor in his work, his cookbooks, his bi-monthly column in Men's Journal, and his podcast, Goop Fellas, in collaboration with Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle brand, Goop. So it's now my pleasure to turn the program over to him. He'll be cooking 2 pork dishes for you. Seamus.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for coming. So I'm going to show you 2 dishes that I put together using this beautiful pork. And one of my guiding principles is always that you cannot make good food from bad ingredients. So starting with the best quality ingredients you can is really the cornerstone to developing a delicious and healthy dish. I am an advocate of eating a very plant-forward and balanced diet. That doesn't mean that I exclude animal protein from my diet at all, but I like it to be very balanced. So I look at meat almost as an ingredient. And you'll see, particularly in this first dish that I'm going to show you, that I really treat the pork as an equal opportunity player on the plate with everything else. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is a smoked pork shoulder panzanella salad. I'm going to take the pork shoulder. So we have a beautiful pork shoulder, boneless pork shoulder. First thing I'm going to do is season it with salt and pepper. And the way that I've prepared this, I've done it in a smoker, which is wonderful. If you have a smoker, I highly recommend doing pork shoulder in the smoker. It's a great cut to do in the smoker. If you don't have a smoker, you can also do this in the oven at low temperature. I would set the oven at about 250, and you want to go for a center temperature of about 155 degrees. So that's probably going to take, depending on the size of the shoulder, it's going to take 5 hours or so. But we're doing this in a smoker. So the first thing is seasoning it with kosher salt and some pepper. And then, as Maria Elena mentioned, I am from Vermont, which means that maple syrup is part in my blood. Although I'm not an advocate for using refined sugar, this is one of the only sugars that I will use a little bit of. So I like to, if I'm using a sweetener, I like to get it as close to its natural state as possible. So just brushing on some maple syrup all the way around, and that's going to help bring out the nuanced sweetness within the pork. It's also going to help all of the spices bond to the pork. So we'll just brush it nicely like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and season it. So I have 2 different seasonings I'm using. I lived in Spain for a number of years. Spain is really an integral part of not just, we think of it as Mediterranean cuisine, but the Mediterranean Rim. It's really a confluence of where North Africa and Europe meet. And you really see that in the cuisine. And you see that in a lot of the culinary traditions in Spain. And I love to sort of, as I'm imagining Spanish food, take it one step further and think about what are all some of the other spices and ingredients that you find around the Mediterranean Rim, and how could they be integrated into the cuisine of Spain. So this is za'atar spice, which is a blend of lemon and sesame seeds and cumin and coriander and parsley. And it's really just a beautiful, vibrant spice mix that I love to cook with. So I'm going to add that all the way around. And then one of my favorite spices to cook with, which brings a beautiful pop of acidity without giving lemon flavor, is sumac. So I'm going to add sumac. This is sumac it's the sumac berry that's been dried and ground up. And you find this a lot in Turkish cuisine and in Israeli cuisine and all over the Mediterranean Rim. So that's what we're looking for, seasoning that up nicely. And then this will go into the smoker set at 250 for about 3 hours or so. When it's after about 3 hours, I'm going to take it out, put it into a nice piece of foil, and then I'm going to add some white wine to it, fold it up to make a nice parchment, and put it back into the smoker for another 2 hours or so. And what we get is a beautiful pork shoulder. Let me just wash my hands quickly. So we get this beautiful pork shoulder, and we're going to just slice it up and use this inside the panzanella salad. So I get this nice pork shoulder, and then what I'm going to do, just to make some nice little ribbons, I'm going to cut it in half first. And you can see how beautiful that is. It's nice and still really pink, delicate. And then I'll just thinly slice it And so this will get folded into the salad. So you're eating a nice little salad, and you get some of the protein mixed in. And one of the nice things about using pork shoulder is that it's a really marbled cut of pork. There's a lot of interstitial fat, so it's not just superficial fat, which gives a lot of flavor to the meat as it's cooking, keeps it nice and moist. All right, so we've got a few ribbons. And then the other ingredients that are going to go into my panzanella, I've got some heirloom tomatoes. And when I'm doing a tomato salad, what I like to do is just kind of cut everything at kind of weird angles, nice shapes, so that the vinaigrette will cling to it and that it's a little visually interesting too, and not everything has the same shape. So that'll go into the mixing bowl. Then I'll grab another tomato, a different color. Got a chunk off. And then I just keep turning it. And I love to have these kind of organic shapes to the tomatoes. Perfect. That's maybe a couple more pieces here. Excellent. Then I'm going to add some shallot. The shallot I'm just going to do into paper thin little rings. So we'll just you can either do it on a mandolin or you can cut it with a knife. Thank you. Use some thin shallot rings, throw that in. And then I have some toasted pecans. So normally with a panzanella salad, it's a bread salad. I don't eat gluten. I've cut gluten out of my diet as part of my health journey. So I still like to get that nice kind of substantive effect that you get for some bread. But I like having a little crunch. So I'll add pecans, which go beautifully with the tomatoes. And then some radish, a little watermelon radish. Do that on the mandolin just to get some paper thin slices. Try to keep my fingers out of it. Always a challenge. And you start to see some of these bright, vibrant colors. I don't know if you guys, there's no monitors, you can't see it, but oh, there is. There we go. So now you can see some of the right colors that are coming together look really nice here. And then we're going to make our vinaigrette. So for the vinaigrette, I'm going to add in some saffron. I just need a big bowl. Here we go. So the vinaigrette, I'm going to start with some white wine vinegar. And I'm going to bloom a couple of threads of saffron into that. Thank you, sir. A little bit of honey. And then some grated garlic. So I just need a clove of garlic, which I know I had around here somewhere, and steal this one. And I'll use the microplane for the clove of garlic. I use the microplane for a million different things, but one of the things I like doing with garlic is you get a nice pulp, which really extracts the oils, and then it melts into the liquids, which makes it not nearly as intense. So just kind of whisk that together. Add in a little bit of salt. And then a little mustard. Do we have any mustard? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get some mustard. And that's going to, while the mustard's coming together, while we're getting the mustard, I'll just add some of the herbs. So I take a ton of different fresh herbs. You can use any of the soft herbs. Tarragon, basil, mint. And then I just literally tear the herbs in. So you're getting nice chunks of herbs. Every bite you get a nice bright pop. Tarragon, a few leaves of mint. Mint's a really nice surprise to get in a salad when you're eating salad. You don't necessarily expect to get a little bit of mint, and it really lightens everything up. And what I like about this is it showcases how pork can be a really delicate meat to cook with. We often think of it as being, because it tends to have more fat than other meats, so we think of it as being really heavy, but using herbs and lightening it up is a really nice, thank you very much. And then we're going to throw some scallions in. So just slice up some scallions. Add that into the salad. And then here I'll finish out the vinaigrette. So the mustard will help the olive oil emulsify into the vinaigrette. Add some mustard. Whoop. About that. And then I'll just whisk in the vinaigrette. And you get this really beautiful saffron vinaigrette, which is really nice with tomatoes. It makes a great tomato salad. You can also use it for just a simple green salad. It's a beautiful, very floral and flavorful vinaigrette. And then the longer you keep this in the fridge, the more the saffron will bloom and the more intense the color will get. All right. And now I'll go ahead and add in some of the pork shoulder. Just kind of tear the pieces in. And then I'll leave a couple of pieces out just to finish the dish on the plate. Lightly dress this. And then finish with a little bit of sea salt. And I'm a big advocate for cooking with my hands. So I'm just going to toss this together a little bit with my hands. And then, and so you mind passing me that black plate so I don't get it super messy? Go right here. And then we'll just kind of plate it nicely, delicately on the platter. You get all those flavors together. If you want, you can add some arugula or some greens into it as well. But it's just a easy and beautiful way to utilize the pork shoulder. And you could be cooking this. Oftentimes I'll make pork shoulder as a main course, and then I have some leftovers, and later in the week I'll use the leftovers to make this sort of salad. It's a really nice use, cross-utilization of all the ingredients. Oops, do you mind taking these from me? Thank you very much. And then a couple more pieces of pork that we can just kind of put in like that. And I'll finish with just a little bit of the basil here. And that's all she wrote. Pretty simple, but you get nice, you get crunch, you get vibrant flavors, you get a little smokiness from the pork, refreshing herbs, and all the bright flavors from the, oh, you know what I forgot? Last thing, I forgot the watermelon. There's also some watermelon that goes in. So we'll have to imagine that I folded that in. Sorry about that. So just cut it into some little pieces, and then we can just kind of add these in. And that really kind of brightens it up and really refreshes this and makes it a really nice, beautiful, refreshing salad that integrates all of those flavors together. That's all there is to it. That's the first dish. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a little bit closer. It's good. A little bit closer to, you'll notice as chefs, we never actually sit down and eat anything. We just kind of like pick at stuff the whole time. The next dish is a little bit closer to a traditional tapas dish. But one of the things I love about tapas in general, and for that matter, any food, is that we have this notion of what is traditional and what's not traditional. And the reality is that cultures are always in flux. They're always changing as they come into contact with other cultures. So the idea that to say that this is traditional or this is not traditional is to kind of isolate one moment in time and say this is where tradition comes from. For instance, just talking about Spain, because it happens to be a country that I know very well, we can't really think of Spanish cuisine without thinking of pan con tomate or tortilla española, both of which have ingredients that are not indigenous to Spain, potatoes and tomatoes. So you could arguably say neither dish is a traditional Spanish dish if you go back far enough in time. But what I love is that if we think about looking at things through the lens and understanding that there are certain flavors and the dishes should have a certain DNA to be a traditional dish. I think that's a really interesting way of looking at it. So this next dish has some of the DNA of Spain, but then it's also kind of riffing on a lot of other things. So I'm going to make a little skewer, a little grilled skewer of pork loin with a salsa verde or a chimichurri that has a lot of flavors that will be recognizable and then some that might be a little bit new. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the pork loin diced up for the skewer. So we have some beautiful pork loin here, which obviously the loin is going to be much leaner than the shoulder. You can see there's a little bit of fat, but not too much. And for this, what we're going to do is I'm just going to cube it into nice little pieces, just about an inch or so. So I'll take, that's going to be enough for the skewer. So I'll take this, and then I'll cut it into 3 strips, and then cut this into cubes. And then I'm going to add some green onion bulbs, scallion, or you can use spring onion if you've got it. Just take those off. So we got the nice bulbs. And then I'm going to add a little bit of eggplant. Again, I'm going to cut the eggplant more or less the same size as the pork. And then I'm just going to make some skewers out of these guys. So we'll start by doing a piece of pork, and then a scallion, and a piece of eggplant, and another piece of pork. A nice little skewer like that. Pork, scallion, eggplant, and pork. Make one more here. And this is really a simple skewer. If you wanted to marinate it, you could certainly do that. I'm just trying to show you how quickly you can make it, and very simple and delicious. Now I have my skewers, and I'll season them up with salt and pepper. And then we'll go right onto the plancha, right onto the grill with it. So some salt, a little bit of pepper, hit both sides. And then I'll add a little bit of olive oil to the grill. And we'll go right on with these guys. They're just going to grill until they're just cooked through, all the way through. We'll flip them a couple of times. Make sure the vegetables get cooked through. All right, I'll let those go. While that's going on, I'm going to make my chimichurri. So for the chimichurri, I'll use a blender. And we'll add in all of the herbs that we're going to use for the chimichurri. So I have some cilantro. Just take a nice handful of cilantro. Add that in. And some parsley and some basil. Parsley, one of the most underappreciated herbs. I call it the working man's herb, the blue-collar herb. Does all the hard work and doesn't get any credit. And then add in some garlic, a little vinegar, some chili flakes, some lemon zest and lemon juice. So for the zest, we'll just zest it first. Just Go right down the lemon. I've gotten most of the zest. And then we'll get some juice here. You notice if you cut the lemon like that in cheeks, you don't really get any seeds. The seeds stay in the center. So we'll just juice this right in. And then a little more olive oil. And buzz this up. Once it gets started, I'll add some more olive oil into it. And I'm not looking for a puree. I just want to buzz it all up, get nice, still going to be kind of chunky, which is exactly what we're looking for. And I'll go ahead and put this into a mixing bowl. And I'm going to add in a few other ingredients to this. So here's the base for our chimichurri. And now I'm going to add in some toasted pine nuts. And then some persimmon. Everyone knows that pork and fruit do really well together. And persimmon are just coming into season now. And they're really, really nice with pork. So I'm just going to dice up the persimmon. And it's going to be a little chunkier, the persimmon. And that'll give a nice, vibrant pop. Fantastic. Can you pass me a small little spoon for stirring this up? And we can go a little higher on the heat here. Great, thank you. This gives us a nice, bright, vibrant chimichurri with persimmon, a little bit of heat from the chili flakes, a little bit of spice from the garlic, and then the pine nuts give it a really nice fattiness to it. Touch more salt. And then these guys, we can just see they're starting to get some nice color. And we can even put a weight. Did we have a weight we could put on top of this? Maybe a pan or something? Just to speed the process along a little bit. Perfect. Great. Thank you. And we'll just cook these through until they're a nice medium well. Shouldn't take that long, just a couple of minutes. And then we get this really simple, easy snack to make. You can obviously do bigger kebabs. And then this chimichurri is great also to use on other cuts of pork as well. So if you're doing like that pork shoulder that we did earlier, you could make that pork shoulder and then serve it with a side of this as well. It becomes very versatile. I love the idea of creating these base sauces that are really easy to quickly turn into something else. So you could even take this and a couple tablespoons of that, put it into a mixing bowl, add some olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, and now you have a really nice, bright vinaigrette that you can use to dress some vegetables or make a simple salad out of. If you guys haven't used these Heston pans, these are like the best pans in the world. They're so amazing. They basically don't stick, and they're stainless steel with titanium. I've been cooking with them for a little while now, and I absolutely love them. All right, so this is just about there. I'm not scared, particularly when it comes to pork loin, and it's really good quality pork, to have a teeny little bit of pink to it. I'd actually like that. I understand that everyone has their own concerns with it, but I like a pork that's still nice and juicy, so I'm going to pull these off they're just cooked through perfectly. And we've got skewers here. And you notice that the eggplant is just cooked through nicely. Scallion's still got a little bit of bite to it. And that's all she wrote. So I'll just finish it here with some of the chimichurri. Right across the top, it's nice and bright and vibrant, super flavorful, and very easy to make. That's it. Hope you guys enjoy.
Could be the most perfectly timed demo.
13 seconds left. We set 13 seconds for questions.
Is there anyone who has any questions for Seamus? Yeah. Excuse me? Oh, the name of the podcast is called Goop Fellas. GOOPFELLAS. Anyone else? Up back there.
How long did I let it?
The sumac.
I just added it right away, but you could do it. It tastes even better if you wrap it in plastic and put it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. Then those flavors would really penetrate. But even just seasoning it and going straight into the smoker, it's got a lot of flavor. 250. Sorry, 250. Yeah, 250. Yeah, until it gets to 155. It's about 3 hours. Pull it out, and then put it into a packet with some white wine, close it back up, and then go back in for another 2 hours or so. You could definitely do that. That would cook it all the way through first. Yeah, if you cooked it sous vide before you smoked it. I like using the principles of smoking and the principles of sous vide are the same. You cook something at a low temperature, a controlled temperature, in a controlled environment. And I would prefer it because I love the flavor. To answer your question, what kind of wood do I use? I love the flavor of using fruit wood, so whether it's cherry or apple wood, and doing that slowly, so you get the same result as you would get cooking it sous vide if you're really careful about it. But you're getting all of the flavor of the wood, of the natural fuel source.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, Seamus.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you.
So as I mentioned at the top of this session, the two chefs that we have here today offer very different approaches to Spanish cuisine and to tapas, and I've had the luxury of eating in both of their restaurants and understanding both of their takes. So next up is Sergio Andreu, who owns one of my favorite tapas restaurants in all of Spain. Sergio and his wife, who isn't here this year, Sofia Boschet, run the wonderful La Pepita in Barcelona. It's this funky little spot full of wall graffiti and closed seating, a great soundtrack, and awesome food. Sergio actually has a video that he's going to show you that'll illustrate what I'm talking about. It's a special spot. Everything a modern tapas place that you can go any night of the week for any occasion should be. And while I know there's a controversial conversation around this ingredient right now, La Pepita has quite literally the best foie gras I've ever had. It might help that it had chocolate in it, but too bad for me, La Pepita is in Barcelona and not New York. Anyway, Sergio was raised in Alicante, Spain, and like a lot of chefs, he was pursuing another profession entirely, industrial design, when he realized he wanted to dedicate his life to cooking. After studying cooking and pastry at Hoffman Cooking School in Barcelona, he moved to Paris, and in 2010 moved back to Barcelona to open La Pepita with his wife. In 2014, they opened La Cava next door, which is a bustling wine bar, and just like La Pepita, which is always busy, they've both become one of the paired best restaurants in Spain, most beloved. Doing 3 demos, one of which will highlight the star ingredient today of pork, I'd like to introduce Sergio Andreu.
Thank you. Hello. So I think we can watch the video now as introduction. That's my wife, Sofia. Now, thanks to the introduction, I have to cancel the first paragraph. A ver, chato. Well, it's slow motion. Well, okay, that's great. No problem. It was just a little bit showing the atmosphere, the people at La Pepita. Okay. Well, as Maria Elena said, I am Sergio. This is my assistant Luis, and together with my wife Sofia, we opened 9 years ago La Pepita, a tapas bar in Barcelona, and well, today I would like to tell you 3 examples, very simple to explain, very simple to cook, quick to prepare, quick to serve. That's our idea. So I want to explain what we do, how we do, and most important thing, why we do that way. Okay. So as I said, we opened 9 years ago. We are a really small restaurant, but really small. We have capacity for about 50 people. And we work a lot. I mean, we have a lot of clients. We don't take a reservation. It's always line outside. There are busy days that we can make almost 400 people, and we can serve. Well, we are talking about tapas, so maybe 2 people, they can eat around 8 or 10 tapas, no, same table, no, because we work with small sizes, really easy to share, everything like this. So we can serve busy days like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, almost 1,500 tapas. So in our, we have a really small kitchen. It's really small. I mean, it's like this. So, and how can we reach those numbers having a really small kitchen and a really small space is what I want to talk to you about. First of all, I would like to say we are a traditional Spanish bar. I said traditional because I feel like a traditional cook, okay? In my opinion, all my dishes are traditional because I normally get inspired from tradition to create new tapas, okay? That surprised my client because La Pepita is seen as an innovative, modern, fresh, light tapas bar, okay? But I feel that way, no? I feel like a traditional cook. I like to think we are something like new, traditional, Mediterranean, Spanish tapas bar. And for me, this Mediterranean, that new, implies to cook in a really healthy way and light way. Okay, that's what I like to do in my kitchen. As I said, we are traditional because if you take a look to our menu, you will find the most traditional tapas in Spain, like potato bravas, ham croquette, fried calamari, fried fish, well, a lot of things, broken eggs. And this is all typical in Spain, and that's good. That if you see my menu, you can see that it's very comfortable. Everybody knows this kind of tapas. We have tomato bread, everything. Okay, and that makes the proposal very comfortable, very easy to understand, and very easy to order. No, you are not scared. Sometimes it happens that you are in front of a menu and you are a little bit scared to order that because you don't know. So I don't like that, so I try to do this menu very comfortable. And normally, I found this opinion several times that a lot of clients said that tapas in Spain sometimes are rich, are heavy, greasy, and stomach it's a little bit because it's fried stuff. So I like tradition, but I don't like this kind of food, no? Greasy stuff and everything. So we try to do everything a little bit different, twisting every dish with a special things, okay? Looking always for between the balance between tradition and innovation, okay? So how we work? At La Pepita we are 32 employees and 16 in kitchen. The kitchen is really small, so same time we can work like 5-6 people, and to arrive to those numbers, to arrive to serve with good quality, good service and everything, we need to be really organized. And we need to be really organized. I think all the kitchens have to be really organized. But also we need to cook really quick. And we need to, well, I will explain that before. So today I want to show you 3 examples. Okay, the first of all, this is this asparagus, white asparagus, sorry. In Spain, we love that. You know, I think here is something like the preserved food, no? The canned food is so like cheap food or not good. Or that. We have really good industry with of this. We have a lot of vegetables, fresh vegetables, but also we love this canned food. For me, I have the queen. The queen is the artichoke, and the king for me is the white asparagus. Okay, the season is short, so we can find fresh asparagus, but we can eat this white asparagus all the year thanks to this. So this is one of the first example. This is one of the dishes that we have in the menu. It's really fast. We don't need to cook nothing. It's all how do you say, build the dish. So let me show you what we do. I want to explain something before. Tapas, for me, means sharing. No, tapas obviously is sharing. But what happens when if you are with a colleague, you are with a friend, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, it's easy to share. No, I mean, you are in confidence with that person. But imagine you are in a table with a business meeting, or you are with 3-4 people that you don't know. What happens in a lot of restaurants? A lot of restaurants, they serve you the food like this, and there is always one person in the table that has to cut and split, no, the dish. So I don't like that. So I prefer always to serve my food. I don't know how do you say. Well, carrot. Okay. That was easy. Yeah. So we serve this tapas. This is a tapa we have now in La Pepita. Okay. Normally in traditional restaurants, you can find this product. It's only product. You can find this product, white asparagus, served with mayonnaise. Really simple way. Mayonnaise or olive oil, salt, pepper. That's it. I love that. Okay. But I love that idea because I love that product. But also we try always to do something different. Okay. So what we do? I want to explain that. We cut every dish. I mean, for example, I have a sea bream tapas. We cut in 6 pieces. That's because we want make it easy for the client to share this dish. So for me, it's very important. I take a lot of time in the kitchen during mise en place doing that, cutting the sirloin, the eggplant, cutting everything because I want all my menu that can be eaten only with a fork. That have 2 important things. Easy for the client to share, and always, and also we save time. Okay, when we have the clients at the restaurant, it's the time to make money, so that's a business. So we realized that cutting and doing the tapas really easy to share, we were saving time. Saving time means 1, 2, 3 tables more every day. So that's great for us. That's my idea. So another important thing, in order to be quick, really fast, because that's what we need in our kitchen. We pre-build a lot of dishes, and we keep it in the fridge, okay? It's a special fridge where before service, before lunch, or before dinner, we spend like 1 hour doing that, no? So what we do to go fast, okay? Imagine I am in mise en place. We add some, this is, well, I'm going to explain the ingredients because it's white asparagus combined with green asparagus, sushi ginger vinaigrette, lime, this is lime olive oil, this is only the juice and the zest, and olive oil, green asparagus, and the weird combination is chocolate and cacao nibs, no? Cacao nibs, that's it. So, before service, during mise en place, we build that dish like this, okay? And we do that, we prepare like 12, 15, 18 dishes like this, okay? That depends the day. And now imagine we're in the service. I have my printer that is crazy all day. It's like tapas, 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 tapas. It's crazy. So we need to control that. We need to, I have, that's true. I call the service the monster. So imagine how it's. So imagine we have like 10 dishes like this. So I received the paper and I said, okay, Luis, una de espárragos. Great. So I think it's better here. So I have this rule in my kitchen. I need all the dishes in the menu have to be out in less than 1 minute. Okay, that's the rule. Obviously, this is one of the best of the faster dishes we have. Okay, it's really simple. It's only combination of something that we don't need to cook. Okay, and well, this is the first example. No, quick to prepare. We don't need to cook anything here. You just cut raw vegetable. I love raw vegetables, like asparagus or sugar peas, or well, a lot of things we use raw. As I said, this is quick to prepare, quick to serve, and in less, I think, 15 seconds, it's on the table of the client. So that's the first example. We don't need to cook that. So second example, okay, just to explain a little bit. Now we are going to cook a little bit. Well, not really. Okay. Está bien. Okay. This is the pork tenderloin. I love that technique. We have this pork tenderloin. Imagine, okay, it's completely raw. I salt and pepper, and then over high heat, I just brown it. And I just brown it just to caramelize the exterior, but I want the interior completely raw. Okay, so imagine it's like this. Escógeme un trapo por ahí. Bueno, pídeme un trapo ahí en la cocina de alguien. So you can see, okay, it's completely raw. This is this crown, okay. Normally we do that with, I don't know, maybe 25, 30 small pork tenderloins. So it's a big production. I need some paper here. And the thing I love about this technique is this is like a kind of Japanese marinade. Okay, you are thinking now it's Japanese, Spanish. Okay, so you know I told before normally I get inspired from tradition. I get inspired for old-fashioned food. I mean, southern Spain is very common to eat cured meat, like pork tenderloin or loin, with grapes. Something that I tried it once, and I remember that. So that's the idea. We cook that. Imagine that is boiling. This is a marinade made with soya, mirin, infused with ginger, some dashi powder, and normally with sake. In this case, I use white wine from here, from Napa, just to do a more local the dish. No? Okay, imagine it's boiling. Imagine it's raw inside, caramelized outside, and just we pour the marinade boiling, and that's it. You don't need to do anything. Just wait 24, 48 hours before using, and after that time, this is the result. Okay, let me show you. It's pink, but not raw. Okay, yeah, perfect. And we need a dish. I don't know, what is the other dish? Plato balado. Well, okay, I can do it here. I can do it here, no problem. So, how we serve this pork tenderloin in La Pepita? Same idea before. We have this dish in the fridge, pre-built, okay, in order to go fast. So, before service, always, we know already we are going to sell a lot of tapas. I said before around 1,000, 1,500. So, we have this information, it's good. So we can do these kind of things in order to go really, really, really fast. So this is not a dish. I like small dishes. I like small dishes really packed, like asparagus, okay? Because I have a really small table, so really small tables, but I love to combine a lot of tapas at the same time. Okay, we can combine this with some maybe marinated fish, something like that. Not this pork tenderloin with that. Kind of can be combined. So I love these small dishes because we have small tables, and I like to share to combine a lot of flavors. So that's why, because I don't like restaurant that you go for tapas and you want to try like 6, 7 things, and they are like this kind of a gastronomic tapas bar. I am traditional because I love this chaos a little bit. No, I love this. I love the client. The client is the king. So I don't want to force them to eat my food in the way I want. No, I don't know if it's something. I don't know if I explain well, but I prefer to serve 2, 3, 4 tapas same times, and let the client to choose how can combine. Okay, can combine the different. So we have this already cut in this special fridge we have in the filming. Okay, to avoid the meat get dry. And the moment of the service, paper, a lot of tapas, chaos, and I said, one solomillo. Luis, please, fast, go. Remember, less of 1 minute. If not, it's not impossible. It's not possible. So we do that, okay, in order to warm a little bit the meat. Also, I love this taste when the pepper is burned. It has a taste that I love. Okay, it's really, really good. That's okay. Also, a lot of people, they don't like pink pork, so that way it's not cooked, but it seems like cooked. Yeah, it's here. Exactly. Normally, it's another dish. This is a little bit that idea. Yeah. So, and we serve that. Oh, sorry. We serve that with orange and grapes. No problem. So this is a cold tapa. Normally for summer it's great, but all year. I mean, it's a like cured meat with fruit. It's very. I love that. Okay. So I always have a lot of chives. Okay. That's the other dish. Okay. you have seen, it's really quick, but really quick to cook. The result is really nice. And you can change the marinade because finally it's that technique that you need to pour. You need to pour something happened. Okay. You need to pour something boiling on top of the meat. That works a lot. That works really well as well with duck breast or chicken breast. That makes this pink inside and well, finishing this dish. So now I want to explain. I have 4 minutes. I think it's okay. If not, we can take a little more time, no? 2 minutes, okay? So the last dish, the eggplant. Okay, this is really a traditional dish. South of Spain is very common to eat fried eggplant with honey. It's like, I think it's one of the most well-known and famous tapas in South of Spain. It's really nice. It's a really nice combination. It's fried, it's hot, it's crispy, it's sugary. So how we do that? We take that idea and we do our version. Always we try to do our version of all the traditional tapas I want to have in my restaurant. So we cook this. Normally we use the other eggplant. Well, imagine it's burning. We burn directly to the fire this eggplant. Then we keep it in a container. We normally do like 15, 20 kilos every day of that. So we have big container, and with his own temperature, you cook the eggplant only with the fire, and then you let it rest for 2 hours, and it's already cooked after that time. No? Once it's cold, we peel. Okay, we peel the eggplant, and we have this. Okay, I'm gonna take this dish. Well, here. Okay. We cut with knife. Okay, you can see this is only the share, the meat of the eggplant. It's a little bit smoky because it's burned directly. And to do, well, the proposal, I forgot. Our proposal of that is smoked eggplant fritters with honey, goat cheese, and apple. Okay, I have everything here. Okay, to do the dough of the fritter, the paste, we mix regular flour. This is whole wheat flour, and this is trisol. Trisol is a soluble fiber from wheat, okay, that makes the result crispy. If you mix only the eggplant with the flour, it becomes not crispy. It's like a little bit soft. So that trisol do that crispy things. Sí, ese mismo. Porque hemos usado el otro. Okay, we can do it. So this is nothing. We do like a tempura. We mix both, and we add some water, and then we add the eggplant. Finally, the result is that. Okay, it's already made because it would let it rest for, I don't know, 3, 4, 6 hours. Normally I do overnight, but well, it's good. Believe me, it's good to let it rest. Okay. On the other hand, we have this creamy cheese. This is only goat cheese with water mix. And in the moment ticket arrive, we do that. It's hot. Okay, so Luis, una de espárragos. We serve that, as I said, with cheese, honey, and apple. You will see the result. I love that dish, and people love that dish. Instead of honey, I use, this is, I think, the name is molasses here, molasses. Oh, honey from cane sugar. Well, I don't know. You can use it with honey, no problem. Or you can do your own honey, doing, I don't know, mixing lemon with, well, that's an idea. So finally, we find this fritter. It's warm, it's crispy, it's a little bit smoky. We mix with cheese. Cheese works really well with honey as well. And finally, we add the apple to refresh all the dish, to clean your mouth. So finally, you have seen it's really quick to do. It's really quick to prepare. All right. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the dish that better, how do you say, summarize our work philosophy, no? Taking something from tradition, twisting our way, and finally have something that is very easy to recognize in a menu, because finally it's fried eggplant, so everybody knows that, and this is our version. I need a spoon, here. And that refresh everything. And of course, chive. So that's it. Thank you very much. Sorry for my English, it's, you know.
Thank you so much to all of our chefs. That was fabulous. And actually, I think we have the video now that will run, because that was just a cruel teaser. It looked spectacular. So let's roll the video and do it justice this time.
Thank you. You can see it's always easy to share.
Take traditional fish and chips to a new level. Fried whitefish with diced watermelon chutney and watermelon rind tartar sauce. This recipe also helps reduce food waste by using both the flesh and the rind of the watermelon. We're going to start by preparing our fish. Cut each fillet into 2 pieces and season with salt and pepper. Mix together the flour, cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and pepper for the batter and set aside. Now let's make the chutney. Combine the onion, vinegar, and sugar in a sauce pot and cook on medium heat until the mixture is reduced by 3/4. Add the watermelon and Fresno chilies and continue to cook for 5 more minutes until nice and thick. Allow to cool and add the mint and cilantro. Next, we're going to make the tartar sauce. Squeeze any excess water from the grated watermelon rind. In a mixing bowl, add the rind, mayonnaise, capers, dill and mustard, and mix well. Set this aside and keep cold. Now let's get back to our fish. Mix the dry ingredients from earlier with the sparkling water and lemon juice until just combined. Be careful not to overmix. Coat the fish with flour and dip into the batter. Fill a pot with the oil so that it reaches halfway up the sides and heat the oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the fish into the heated oil and fry until golden brown, about 3 to 4 minutes. Season with salt while warm. Serve the fish with the tartar sauce and the chutney and garnish the plate with a slice of watermelon. You'll love the combination of this sweet spicy chutney, the acidic tartar sauce, and the crispy fried fish. Enjoy! Colorful, flavorful entree bowls are a delicious trend. The grapes in this Moroccan grape and grilled chicken bowl make a cooling, crisp, and bright contrast to the spicy Moroccan flavors. Combine the prepared couscous with carrots, diced grapes, parsley leaves, ras al hanout, and salt. Mix well and set aside while we get started on our chicken. Mix the spicy harissa paste, olive oil, and salt in a bowl and coat the chicken breasts. Grill on both sides until just done. Set these aside to cool and then cut into 1/4-inch slices. Now let's make the vinaigrette. Place green California grapes, lemon juice, preserved lemon, extra virgin olive oil, and cilantro in a blender and puree until smooth. Next, we're going to put our bowl together. Toss the couscous and grape salad ingredients together with the vinaigrette and portion into your bowl. To finish, top the bowl with the sliced chicken, toasted almonds, and red grapes. This Moroccan grape and grilled chicken bowl with preserved lemon and green grape vinaigrette is delicious hot or cold, or served for lunch or dinner. Enjoy! Find this recipe and more on ciaprochef.com/grapes.
With Israel being such a tourist destination for people from all over the world, you see dishes such as eggs Benedict with a Middle Eastern or Israeli twist. For this dish, we start with kataifi noodles that are actually phyllo dough noodles. Spread them in a bowl and drizzle them with melted butter. Season with a little salt and baharat spice mix. Put them in a muffin tin just to form little nests, gently pressing. Preheat oven to 450 degrees and bake the kataifi noodles until golden brown. Remove from the oven and hold. Prepare Nor Hollandaise sauce following prep directions and season with sumac. You can also season with za'atar, or if you like it spicy, with a little bit of zhug. Poach the eggs and when ready, remove with a slotted spoon and place over the noodle nests. Drizzle with Hollandaise sauce and garnish with roughly chopped parsley and nigella seeds. Enjoy!